Hello, Mary. Do you have some time right now? We need to talk about something important. Hello. What would you like to be called? Mrs. Price? Or would Helen be okay? I can't call you Mother yet, right? Do you have a preference for what I call you? Yeah, it's too early to be calling me Mother. You guys aren't married yet. Helen is fine. Okay, thanks for letting me know, Helen. It was great to get to know you the other day at the gathering with both of our families. Yeah, sure. It was nice to meet you. So, what did you need to talk to me about today? I just wanted to double-check some things. You're currently working for the same company as my husband, correct? Recently, you ended up moving to work in the same department with him as well. Yeah, I guess so. Alan told me that his father works at the same company as me a little while ago. I was still very surprised when I found out that I was working in the same department as him. Well, I guess our surname is pretty common, so I don't blame you. There must be many Mr. Prices in our country. However, I cannot forgive you for the other part. What was with your terrible attitude the other day? Sorry, I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Did I do something accidentally to offend you? If I did, I'm very sorry. It was very offensive. There is no way that you did it accidentally. When I came back to the room after going to the bathroom, I saw my husband apologizing and groveling to you. It was clear to everyone you were talking down to him. How could you treat him like that? I was so shocked with what I saw when I came back. Oh, I guess you saw that happening. How could you do such a thing to the person that might become your father-in-law? It's so disrespectful. On top of that, he has a higher position than you in the company that you both work for. You should be respecting your elders, you little brat. How could you humiliate him like that? I managed to control my temper at the time, but the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. If you apologize right now, then I wouldn't mind letting this go. If you don't apologize, then I'm not going to let you get married to Alan. Such a disrespectful person does not have a place in my family. Mrs. Price, can I have a chance to speak? There's a reason for all this. I won't accept any excuses. I'm breaking off your engagement to Alan if you're not going to apologize right this moment. Well, please let me just explain. There was a good reason why that happened. It happened because of something that was work-related, and I'm pretty sure that it was the correct action by him at the time. What did you just say? Well, it's kind of complicated. He saw me outside of work and just started talking about stuff so suddenly. He got a little emotional, and his voice got a little loud. I'm really sorry that I can't tell you what happened in detail, as there's some work-related information that I cannot tell people outside of the company. Why are you making this so difficult? Stop making up these work-related excuses and just apologize as I told you earlier. Or just tell me what this work-related thing is. I'm sorry, but it's confidential information, and it is not for me to tell you. I apologize, but please, would you be able to stop trying to dig further into this matter? So, I take it that you have no intention of apologizing then. Am I correct in thinking that? Well, I mean, there isn't really a reason for me to apologize. It's complicated, but you'd understand if you knew what was going on. I totally get it. You really have no intention of apologizing after forcing my husband to embarrass himself in public. I no longer accept you getting married to Alan. Well, I really don't know what to say to that. We're going to have to cancel all the wedding plans that we were preparing as well. The reason this engagement is breaking off is all your fault, Mary. I expect you to pay all the fees associated with canceling the wedding. That's your responsibility after what happened between you and my family. Be prepared to pay a lot of money. Helen, we need to talk. Oh, hey Mary, what's the matter? Something's happened, and it's not looking good at all. Wait, what? Are you okay? What is happening?
Just tell me and we'll figure it out.
Do you remember when your father took the blame for that error and made a point by apologizing to the whole floor? It really looked like I was chewing him out. I thought that your mother was gone when it happened, but she was actually watching us from far away.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yeah, she texted me about it a little earlier in the day. I guess it was because she didn't know the reason behind it, but she was very angry with me. She told me that she wouldn't accept our marriage if I didn't apologize for being so disrespectful. She's going to try to break up our engagement.
That's crazy. She's really going that far?
The problem is, I promised that I wouldn't say the details about what happened, so I can't really explain the truth to her. I really don't know what I should do about this.
Why do both my parents have to be such difficult people? I'm sorry that you have to go through this. They both seem to care for each other too much or something, and it always leads to problems like this in the end. It's so frustrating watching them do this all the damn time.
Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for you. You always seem to be pretty stressed out about your parents.
I'm sorry that this is happening. I'll try to fix this. Would you be able to send me screenshots of what she sent you? I'll read through it and try to figure out a way to sort this out.
Sure, I'll send them right over.
Would it be okay if I went to your place right now?
Yeah, that's completely fine. When do you think you'll get here?
I'll be there in about an hour.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you in a bit.
Hello, Mary. Are you prepared to break off your engagement to Alan now? You didn't send me a single message since we talked a few days ago. I cannot believe it. How long were you planning to make us wait? We are going to break off the engagement as soon as possible. There's no point trying to delay the inevitable. If you don't have any intention of apologizing to my husband, then you are not going to be allowed to get married to Alan.
I don't mean to offend you, but the person that I'm getting married to is Alan and not you. There is no reason for me to listen to what you are saying.
What did you just say to me?
I really don't believe that he feels the same way as you do about this, and I'm sure he doesn't want to break off our engagement. I think that you shouldn't just assume that I'm at fault for this, and that you should try to figure out what's happening before telling me what to do.
So, you're saying that I'm the one that's in the wrong here? How could you talk to your future mother-in-law like that? It is just completely unacceptable. I was brought up to respect my elders.
Now you're telling me that you're going to become my mother-in-law?
Yes, we're going to be family in the future. I really need to teach you some manners.
I thought that you were not going to give me permission to get married to Alan.
Stop being so pedantic. You know I didn't actually mean it like that.
Well, I'm sorry if I misunderstood what you said to me.
I just thought of a great idea. Let me tell you an example of how you should be treating me.
So you're going to tell me a story now?
Just listen to what I have to say. The relationship between the wife and her mother-in-law is just like the relationship between the boss and a subordinate at a company. The subordinate should always listen to what the boss says and respect his decision. You're the subordinate, so you should be listening to what I say. Stop talking back to me and making up stupid excuses. You wouldn't dare to talk back to your boss at work, right? Well, it should be the same way right now. If you did do such a thing at work, you would get punished in some way, right? A salary reduction, overtime work, or you could even get fired for it.
Well, I guess so. So let's say something like what you're saying happens at work one day. You wouldn't have any problem with it if the subordinate got punished for their actions?
I wouldn't have any problem at all. The subordinate deserves any punishment they get if they're disrespectful. If I was the boss, I would probably fire them immediately.
Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts with me. I'll make sure I take your advice and put it into action. Unfortunately for your husband, he is going to have to get punished now.
What are you talking about? He has nothing to do with this conversation.
You might not have noticed, but this conversation does have to do with him. I'm not the one to make the very final decision. However, I think that this decision is not going to change no matter what happens.
What are you talking about?
Your husband is being demoted and moved to a different office. I'm sure you guys are going to be moving soon, so I recommend that you start getting all your belongings together. Once his new office has been confirmed, you guys will have to leave your current house immediately.
I don't understand what you're talking about. Are you messing with me? Hurry up and tell me what's going on!
I'm sure you'll figure it out soon enough. I've got to go now. Goodbye.
Hello, Mary. Would you like to come over for some coffee today? I made some brownies as well.
Why are you inviting me over all of a sudden?
I was given some nice coffee beans by one of my friends. It's a really expensive brand, so I'm sure you would enjoy it. Maybe you can come over at some point during the weekend and we can catch up.
Oh, so you're trying to ask for forgiveness from me now. Some coffee and brownies isn't going to change anything.
What? That's not what I was planning.
Oh, are you sure? You've never treated me like this before.
Well, you know, I kind of wanted to get to know you better.
I'm sure you finally figured out what is going on. Did your husband tell you about what positions me and your husband have at the company we work for?
Well, yes. He told me. My husband is actually a pretty useless employee that has been moving between departments as he is not wanted anywhere. On the other hand, you are a young and capable worker that got promoted to the manager position of your department already. 3 months ago, he got cut from the department he worked for and was moved to your department to work as your subordinate. Soon after, he started working for you. He got very jealous that such a young person like you was his manager, and made some very stupid decisions at work. He was desperate for a promotion and rushed all of the tasks that he was assigned to and ended up losing the company a lot of money and potential business partners. You were his manager, so you had to go around to other departments and partner businesses to apologize to them for what he had done.
Yeah, that's pretty much what was happening. This was the reason why he was apologizing to me the other day. But the details of our business is confidential, so I can't talk about it. When he arrived at the gathering the other day, he was very surprised to see that Alan was getting married to me. He really didn't want me to be telling you and the rest of your family about his miserable work life. That's why he was begging me to keep quiet about our work life and the fact that I was his manager.
So, you're telling me that's the reason why he was groveling to you when I saw you guys?
Yes, you are correct. I think he was only scared of how you would react to the news. Alan was with us at the time, and he was apologizing to me for his conduct at work. Alan didn't get mad at all, but he seemed a little shocked by the reality.
So, that's what was going on.
I actually like to separate my work life from my private life whenever possible, so I decided to keep quiet just like he begged me to. I wasn't planning on talking about work at our gathering anyway. I also didn't plan on interacting with him any differently once we got back to work the next day. However, I don't know what your husband was thinking, but he did some pretty stupid things at work after the gathering. He thought that being the future father-in-law to the manager of the department gave him some extra authority. He started trying to force his jobs onto other coworkers and order them around.
Wait, he didn't really do that, did he?
Oh, yes he did. I had many complaints from the other workers in our department, so I filed a report to the CEO of the company. The higher-ups of the company had a discussion, and it was decided that he would be fired from my department and be moved to a different office out of town.
That can't be true. Do we really have to leave this amazing city?
I'm actually more surprised by why he hasn't been fired from the company completely. I'm pretty sure the only reason why he's able to move around departments is due to the kindness of the CEO. At any other company, he would be fired immediately for what he did.
Please, could you do something about this? I don't want to have to move out of this place. Please help us out.
I'm sorry, but there really isn't anything that I can do about this. I don't have the authority to reverse or change this decision. There's no point sucking up to me at this point. It's way too late for any of that. The only choices you have left are to follow him to his new office that he's been assigned to or live separately to him if you really want to stay in this city.
I don't want to do either.
If you really want to force another option, then I guess you would just have to get divorced from him.
That's not a possibility. I wouldn't be able to live by myself. I don't even have a job right now, so a divorce is not an option.
Well, there's not going to be any progress talking to me about any of this. I suggest you go and have a talk with him directly and figure out what you guys are going to do from now on.
Oh, I just thought of another way to solve this problem.
You thought of a fourth option? What is it?
I'll give you permission to get married to Alan. In return, you should let me move in with you guys. Then I can stay here in this city and he can move to wherever he wants. I could even get divorced, I guess.
Sorry, but that is definitely not going to be happening.
Wait, why? It's such a great idea. Everybody gets what they want. Tell me why it can't happen.
Do you really think that I would want to live with you after what's happened between us? Either way, Alan already told me that you moving in was not an option. I completely agree with him, so that's that.
Wait, he said that?
I'm sorry, but I don't think that there is any point in us talking about this anymore. We're just talking about the same thing over and over now. You can go and talk to your husband about this and not me.
Wait, Mary, please just think about letting me move in with you guys. I'm sure I could be really helpful to you.
Sorry, but nothing you say is going to change my mind. I've got a lot of work to get done, so I've got to go now. Goodbye.
Wait, let's just talk about this.
After we finished talking, Alan's parents got into a massive argument about their future. However, they didn't end up getting a divorce as they were too dependent on each other. Helen didn't have her own source of income, and her husband had no idea how to do any of the housework. They both ended up moving together to a small town where a small office of our company is located. However, after moving to the new office, he made a very costly mistake and was fired immediately by the company. The two of them got into another very large argument and ended up getting a divorce after all. Both of them texted Alan insults and accusations about each other constantly. Alan was getting tired of dealing with them and just sent them both the same reply saying, "It's all your fault. Take responsibility for what you did." He also told me that he planned to cut ties with his parents completely. Currently, we are planning on moving to a new place as his parents know where we live right now. He looked very tired and upset, so I told him that we're going to have our own family that is nothing like his parents. We promised each other that we would care about each other and raise our children with love and respect. We finally got married a few days ago, and we are ready to start a fresh new life together.